Question 13. The graph below shows two straight lines with the equations 3x minus y is equal to 2 and x plus 3y is equal to 19. The lines intersect at the point P. Find algebraically, now it's in bold there, that's your trick there, the coordinates of P, where those two lines meet. How do we find where two lines meet? Simultaneous equations. So go and have a try, stop the video. Okay, let's start setting this up. So we've got 3x minus y is equal to 2, that's our equation 1, and x plus 3y is equal to 19, that's our equation 2. We need to pick which letter we want rid of and match the coefficients. I'm going to go for y. I've got a plus and I've got a minus. I like that. It means I can just add them together. So I've got a y there and a 3y there. I need to match them. So this whole equation, equation 1, I need to multiply by 3 in order to get matching y's. So I've multiplied equation 1 through by 3. So that now gets me 9x minus 3y is equal to 6. Equation 2 is staying the same. I am going to add these. Negative, positive, added together, they are going to cancel each other out. We're going to get rid of the y's. So 9x plus x is 10x. The y's disappear. 6 plus 19, 25. Divide both sides by 10. And we get x is equal to 2.5. Ignore that 3 there, it's just part of the mark. That just shows you the marks. So I've got my x coordinate. Now I need to find my y coordinate. And to do that, I'm going to take my 2.5 and I'm going to substitute it back in. Doesn't matter which one or two, pick one, shove it in. I'm going to go for equation 2. So 2.5 plus 3y is equal to 19. Just a nice normal equation. We are now going to solve it. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the 2.5 away from both sides, which will leave me with 3y is equal to 16.5. So I take that 16.5 and we are going to divide it by 3 to find out what our y coordinate is. Now if you need to do a little bit of side working, so 16.5 divided by 3, 16 divided by 3 is 5. We have a remainder 1, put in your decimal point, 15 divided by 3 is 5. So we now have both coordinates. X is 2.5 and y is 5.5. But we need to write it in as coordinates. So P is equal to 2.5, comma 5.5. That's the intersection of your two lines. Right, marking scheme. You have got 3 marks available here. You get your first mark here. Evidence of scaling. You show that you know you need to match your coefficients. So you get a mark for your evidence of scaling. Your second mark is coming from getting your x value and your y value. And your third mark is for actually stating x and y. So you need to follow a valid strategy in order to get that. That's your second mark. And your third marker is for actually stating your x and your y. Right, question 14. The graph shows a parabola with the equation of the form y is equal to bracket x plus a all squared plus b. So that's in the completing the square form, okay? The equation of the axis of symmetry of the parabola is x equal to negative 5. So if you cut it in half, the line x equals negative 5 cuts it in half there. State the value of a first of all. So completing the square form, a and b are your turning points, remember? And a is always the opposite sign. So whatever your actual turning point is your x value there, it's the opposite sign. Okie dokes. So go and have a shot. So x at our turning point here is -5. So remember, when we put it back into this form, it's the opposite sign. So A has to be +5. 1 mark for that. Right, so our B. The point -3, 8 lies on the parabola. Calculate the value of B. This is a substitution. You know your x value, you know your y value, you are going to put them back into that, form an equation and solve it. Stop the video, go and try it yourselves. So subbing in the numbers that we know. So y is 8, so it goes in there. So 8 is equal to, bracket, whatever x is, and our point there it's -3, plus, we've already said what a is, +5, all squared, plus b. So we need to tidy this up. -3 plus 5 is +2, +2 squared is 4. So 8 is equal to 4 plus b, therefore b has to be 4. So look at the marking scheme, you get 1 mark for stating that a is equal to 5, and then for part B, you get a mark for substituting in your 8 and your -3, and then you get second mark for your b equal to 4. Question 15. In the diagram below, TS is parallel to QR, TS is equal to 5 centimetres, QR is equal to 7 centimetres, and SR is equal to 2.6 centimetres. The length of PS is x centimetres. Calculate the value of x. Right, what clues have we got to start us off here? We have parallel lines. And they have been used to create a smaller triangle inside a bigger one. Hello, similar triangles. Scale factor should be starting to ring alarm bells here. This is what you're going to be using. So have a wee think, stop the video, go and try it. Scale factor is equal to new over old. Our new one is the thing that we're trying to find out about. So it's the wee triangle. We want to know this length here, so that is going to be our new one. The big one is our old one. So what sides can we use to create our scale factor? We know this side and we know this side in our two triangles. So this is our old, this is our new. So our scale factor is 5/7. The new side over the corresponding old side. Now we need to work out our x. So our x is equal to the scale factor times the old side. So new side there, x. The old side is all of this together, so that is x plus 2.6, that there. So x is equal to 5/7 of x plus 2.6. Let's get rid of this fraction. How do you get rid of a fraction? Multiply everything by whatever's in the bottom of the fraction. So I'm going to multiply this side and this side by 7 to get rid of this fraction here. So that's looking a wee bit better. So we've got 7x on this side, and we've got 5 bracket x plus 2.6. Remember, multiplying by 7, you're left, when you multiply by the bottom of a fraction, you're just left with a number that's in the top. This is not changing. Okie dokes. Now we're going to multiply out this bracket and solve it as we would have normally. So 7x is equal to 5x plus 13. Get all your x's onto one side, so we're going to take the 5x away from both sides. Taking 5x away from both sides, we now have 2x is equal to 13. we need to divide both sides by 2. So dividing both sides by 2, we get x is equal to 6.5 centimetres. Done and dusted, we have calculated our value of x. Okay, marking scheme. You get a mark for your scale factor. You get a mark for forming the equation. And you get your final mark for stating the value of x.